welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be a reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week of November 8th to the 14th. Okay, so let's get started and see what major themes will Aquarius be working through this week. I feel like communication is going to be key here. Voyage, adventure, and delight. Interesting. Okay, let's have a look at these cards. Aquarius, you are taking maybe a trip, or maybe it's a voyage from yourself, as you are currently really looking at how to increase your feelings of joy, delight, and adventure. Very interesting. Let's see what the tarot cards want to add to this. This seems to me like it's going to be a week where Aquarius is trying to understand. I feel like you're going to be needing to communicate something. So it's interesting to see this voyage card. Let's break into the tarot and see. It seems to me, though, that your delight in life may require a voyage and some adventure. So Aquarius is going to be stepping out of their comfort zone potentially this week to experience delight in a new adventurous manner that might involve travel or a move or a trip or a voyage into a new dimension of the self. Okay, let's jump into the tarot here. Decision time for Aquarius. Okay, so the thing driving your reading seems to be this idea that you're not sure which way to go when it comes to your sort of newfound inspiration here. Okay, and this Two of Wands, we see that there is another person here coming in with a wand to offer you, and you're not sure what to do. So this card always makes me think that you're formulating a new way forward. So voyage and adventure, to me, go with this card a lot because it's wand energy, and it suggests to me that you're going to be moving into something new. You're formulating a new aim, okay, with this Two of Wands. And I think it's going to be centered around adventure, delight, and perhaps some sort of voyage. Now, that's what's driving your reading. The thing most on your mind right now, Aquarius, is this Nine of Pentacles. Now, this Nine of Pentacles could represent your comfortability right now. You're in a comfortable place. So the idea of taking a voyage, I think, is going to be the message here for me, is that will you depart from this very comfortable place that you're in, where you have what you need, you feel very secure, and but perhaps it's an illusion. And that's why there needs to be a voyage here. This is interesting. Very, very interesting messages here for you, Aquarius. Now, at the start of your reading here, I sort of read it for you from what's driving the reading. This idea here that you're feeling opposing forces and you just keep going round and round and round and round, and you're not sure how to escape this never-ending duality that you're sort of feeling. You're polarized. There's this figure 8 here, which says to me that it's never ending. You're caught in a never ending loop between two forces, and it's emotional. It's causing a lot of emotion. It's turbulent. There seems to be this idea of what you might want to do in the future when I see these three birds there. And the ship on the water also makes me think that maybe one of these options is a voyage. And I feel like one of these options is lighter than the other. right? Like on one side here, we see the three birds. On one side here, we see a ship. And I feel like you need to cut this red tape. That's the feeling I get when I see this card in reverse, is that there is a departure. You need to depart from the way that you normally look at this situation, because it's not getting you anywhere to evaluate it the way you have been. It's leaving you caught up in red tape. Now, this idea here of this Four of Pentacles in reverse really makes me think, as the obstacle, that's the thing creating the challenge for you, is this idea that you're just not feeling secure. You know, the Four of Pentacles, when it's upright, suggests that you're the miser and you're hanging on to everything really tightly and you don't want to let anything go, because your belief of the universe is very much of a scarcity, that you think once it's gone and you'll never get it back. And so seeing that in reverse says to me again that you're starting to depart from that fear slowly, that slowly by slowly you're starting to see that if you start over again, it's okay to release this very comfortable place you've achieved. I feel like that's it. Aquarius has a tough decision they want to make, but they don't want to sacrifice their position or comfort, right? And sometimes when we take adventures, it's not necessarily, think about a traveling adventure. If we were going to go on a trek in the jungle, it's going to be amazing and beautiful, but it might not be very comfortable. We might be in a hot Jeep. We might have to hike in the sweaty sort of environment, and we might be tired. We might have sore feet, but we're going to have a great adventure, right? And so it's almost like you're trying to balance this idea of transition and moving into a new dimension of yourself with, how comfortable is this going to make me? Or how uncomfortable is it going to make me? I think you're focused on that. It's interesting to see these two twos. You're redefining things. You're starting to reformulate your direction, okay? And you're feeling that there's opposition, but you're at the same time also feeling this need to reshape things with your intuition, with your will, with this sense of delight. Very interesting, Aquarius. Now, the past energy and the upcoming future energy says to me here that you need some time to internalize and sort of repurpose your thoughts a bit here. You need time to do that in solitude. You almost need to step away from the external world and have a look at the experiences that have brought you conflict and change and painful separation, almost, because the Three of Swords is what precedes this card, and I feel like you must have just sort of finished a painful period, and a painful chapter may have just concluded, and you're now wondering what to do with these opposing forces. And I think the answer is take a break, take a rest, withdraw, and evaluate this situation. And I think you're going to do that because the upcoming future energy for you is the Justice card, where again, you're dealing with trying to establish what is the most virtuous option. I feel like you're asking yourself some pretty internal questions here about yourself. You're really being introspective when I see these two cards together, and you're trying to understand things on a deeper level. And so it's interesting again, because that Voyage card I really feel is a voyage into the self. You are being invited to take, and it's also a voyage away from the normal pattern of behavior that you've had. You're changing things here, Aquarius. I mean, you're thinking about things in a new way. I feel like it's a departure here. I feel like you're departing from where you were mentally, and you're moving into a new place where you're going to sort of evaluate things under a new lens. and you're going to be looking to see almost like, is this the highest action I can take? Will this action harm anyone or anything? I feel like that is going to be a shifted perspective for you going forward. And it's sort of right now in your mind as two options, as do I just keep going the way I'm going, or do I go, take this internal voyage to understand myself in a new way, along with spirit here guiding you, which is what I always think when I see this Two of Wands. It's in reverse though, so you're still not sure. You're still not sure. And your prosperity and security in the physical world is top of mind a little bit. And I think that's one of these pentacles. That's one of the decisions, is your comfort versus change, Now, your inner dialogue, my dear Aquarius, is one of someone who is sort of preparing for taking some time and preparing to develop something new. But you're challenged, I think, because you haven't taken the decision yet. Your internal dialogue is that you want to do something in a new way, and you know that you're the one that has to develop it, that you have to lead this if it's going to change, because it's about you. This is all internal sort of shifts, really big internal shifts. New ideas are taking hold here, and you need time to develop the action aspect of this. So I think this Knight is in reverse for you as the internal dialogue, because you're not clear on the choice, let alone the action. You need to bring clarity in by taking that inner voyage and using adventure and delight as your guideposts instead of secure prosperity. I feel like there is a fear here that you will lose some sort of standing, or you will lose some sort of comfort if you go for whatever this shift is, the other part of it, right? It's interesting. The outer part of yourself is more strategic. This is the part of yourself that you're showing people, is that you're very strategic, and that you're going to approach this situation as you always have. And it's the King of Swords, which represents Aquarius. So it's like there's a mask. I feel like you're wearing the mask of the old you in front of people, because you're being strategic, you're being clever, you understand that these mental shifts that you're going for are internal, and that I feel like you're not sharing it with anyone at this time. You're withdrawing to understand how to apply these Aquarian strategic, intelligent mental shifts to this situation here. But I feel like you must not be sharing this with a lot of people right now. You're still formulating, you're still weighing out options, Aquarius. You're still deciding on exposing yourself or not, to a degree, because you're very comfortable where you are in this. I almost feel like you've created a cage for yourself where you're safe. Boundaries, right? You've got lots of boundaries and you're safe within those boundaries. But something is coming to push you out. This sense of adventure and delight are really calling you to voyage outside of the cage you've created for yourself. Now, yeah, again, as I say, cage for yourself, you've created this cage for yourself. We see the Nine of Wands, which in some decks is depicted as literally the 9 wands creating a cage, and the key to release yourself is just outside. But you can't see that key because you're tired, you're exhausted, you've sort of reached a point where you need self-care, you need to fill up your tank, you've overburdened yourself. And now it's time to release some of that burden so that you can take care of yourself and see that you can do that. I feel like you're in a cage of your own making right now, Aquarius, that you've created a cage for yourself because you're I feel almost like you don't want to show your true self. You want people to just see this stoic mask that you wear that is very intellectual and strategic and mentally very, very superior almost. I feel like there is this like superiority feeling that you have where it comes like you've created safety for yourself in terms of that intellectual barrier, right? Like, when you're around people that are really you sense their intellect, sometimes that can create a distance because, people might feel like they can't approach you, and that creates safety for you, but it also creates a prison of your own making, a little bird cage that you're sitting in, feeling safe, but all by yourself, right? And it's interesting because there's a bird here, and there's a bird here, and I really feel like you are sitting in a bird cage that you created for yourself, and now you're starting to think, should I leave my bird cage and express myself in a new way? And you're weighing out the options, right? You're weighing it all out. And we see the Ten of Pentacles here in reverse to close your reading, or not to close your reading, but as the final outcome here for this part of your reading, which says to me that what felt safe and secure, like that little bird cage we were just talking about, is no longer going to serve you. That the security that you built up for yourself, Aquarius, this little bird cage where you feel safe in your boundaries, and you have this comfort zone that you've created for yourself is safe, but it's not serving you. It's time to start again. It's time to start again. And I feel like you know that. I feel like you know that already, and you're still weighing out the options. But I feel like from this reading, let's see what's on the bottom of your deck, is the Page of Cups. Yeah, it's time for a new beginning. It's time for a new beginning, and it's time to transform. It's time to be the next version of yourself. So it's time to get out of that little cage and fly into your next adventure. Okay? Take a voyage from yourself. This is beautiful. These cards are all saying to me that it's time for Aquarius to sort of venture out of their comfort zone and find adventure by seeking out your delight and maybe voyage. This could be not only just like taking a trip from yourself, but taking an actual trip. You might need to move or travel. This is very interesting. Okay, let's see, to close your reading now, let's grab you an oracle card to see the guiding messages here that will close your reading. Oh, the sun is about to come up. Looks beautiful outside right now. I feel like it's a painting every morning when I wake up for the sunrise. It's beautiful. I get to see this beautiful painting that gets created in the sky, and then right when the sun rises, it's gone. So you have to wake up to see it. Okay, sorry. Anyway, here we go. Aquarius, compassion. Be a witness, release emotion, transmute pain through love, seek to help others, and keep an open heart. Keeping an open heart, yeah, you're transforming here, and be compassionate with yourself as you go through this, okay? You're transforming. I feel like you're starting to understand yourself in a brand new way, and you're taking a chance. And so as you feel this sort of opening the bird cage and you start to come out, be a witness here. Release all your emotions and transmute any pain you have through love. I love this seek to help others. Perhaps if you shift the focus away from yourself and think of helping others, that will help you keep an open heart because you won't be consumed with thoughts about your own comfort and your own, your own reflection. Sometimes to get out of our own head, it's good to serve others, right? And there's the image here. I feel like communication is part of this. And I feel like there is a communication that needs to be made. And there, with the sword energy here, I do feel like you are going to use your inspiration to shift things in a way that will allow you to communicate your truth in new actions. You will be expressing your truth through new action. But you need time. In your mind, you need time still to weigh out these options. I say cut the red tape and go for what feels right. Go for what feels like the opposite of your comfort zone. You know, go for an adventure. Have a little adventure here. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it at that for you, Aquarius. If this has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading, my email can be found in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and watching. And we'll see you again very soon for another reading. Sending you lots of love and light, Aquarius.